What's going on, guys? Kulprit here, and today we're going to finally talk some Titanfall. We're going to do our Titanfall beta impressions. I want to stress that it's the Titanfall beta impressions. It's not really my Titanfall impressions because we haven't seen it all. I'm going to talk about how I experienced the beta and what my thoughts, good, bad, and then moving forward are. I do want to stress to you that everything I say should be taken with a grain of salt. I did not get a ton of time in on this beta. Unfortunately, it just fell on a really bad weekend for me. Valentine's Day with my wife, which is important to me. And then, of course, I had my son's 5th birthday on Sunday, so I had family all over the place. And when I played, I had to just sneak in some time. I didn't get that huge, big session where you can really sink your teeth in. So, of course, I'm going to reiterate again, you should take everything I say with a grain of salt. It's really, honestly, a noob reviewing a beta, which is a bad combination. But a lot of you ask, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in the context of what I'm doing. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. I'm not going to recommend you do anything. If you played it, you can make your own decision. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing, what my plan is going to be doing, what my opinions are, and you can use that as a point of reference for yourself. So make the decision for yourself, guys. They did give us a demo. There's no reason you need to be following any YouTuber, but just to kind of give you guys an idea what I'm doing, and my friends out there that are wondering what I might be doing and whether they want to buy it based on what their other friends are doing, that kind of thing. We're just going to talk about it because I like to talk about games. But anyway, overall, I enjoyed it. It was actually very, very refreshing. It was very smooth, very fast. Everybody said this. Mostly hit registration. Oh my goodness, it felt so nice. Really, really did. You know, it's not Battlefield 4, or it's not Battlefield in general, but it was not trying to be, guys. You had to know that going in. You weren't going to get the level of gunplay and things. It's not that type of game. It's a pub stomping, kind of more casual, fast-paced, arcadey type of shooter. I have nothing wrong with that. I enjoy that. It just kind of harkens me back to Call of Duty when I enjoyed it until I really felt like it really went downhill. Think like Black Ops 2, Black Ops, those types of games. I was excited to have a game kind of fill that niche in my play. Some nights I don't want the level on level of tactics and strategy. I just want to shoot some faces, and I want to hang out with some friends, drink a couple beers, and have some laughs and pub stomp a little bit, or get pub stomped, whatever the case may be. And this game really can fill that niche for me. In my opinion, this game is not going to be a Battlefield killer. If Battlefield dies for whatever reason, that's on DICE. That's not on another game. This, though, really will, I think, will be a strict competitor to Call of Duty. There's a lot of similarities, pacing, you know, just everything. Everything felt very Call of Duty to me. Not a bad thing, something I enjoy. And I really like the fact that potentially these two can go head-to-head. Competition is always good for the customer, always good for the gamer in that sense. So let's talk about some of the good perks and opinions I have of this game. It's multiplayer only, and for that I say it's about time. I wish I'd like to see them drop the price a little bit, but especially for first-person shooters, if you put out a good game, people are going to get their value, so I'm not going to nitpick on that. But, you know, don't pretend. Don't pretend that single player means anything to you, because clearly it doesn't. Look at Battlefield 4. They harkened it up so bad, and it was terrible. The single player is just a bad experience. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of resources. You want to do a demo for, like, an engine, you know, demo kind of thing, that's fine, do that, but don't do this. Don't waste all this manpower and resources on a single player if it doesn't mean anything to the game, and it clearly doesn't. I thought it was done well. There's enough of a story kind of woven in there, and actually kind of am interested in the Titanfall story, like what the deal is and stuff, so I may actually get to know a little bit more of that in the future. Fast action, as I mentioned. I love the fact that you can run around. I never got snagged on a single fence or branch. I moved around. Wherever you dreamt, you could go. I like that. It's very different. It took me a long time to get used to that. I'm still not really used to that. I'm not thinking vertically enough. I'm not thinking, you know, Matrix half gravity enough yet, so I'm getting outplayed often, frankly, by the guys that have a lot more time, and they are thinking in that sense of going up or bouncing off this wall and things like that. I'm not quite there yet, but I appreciate the challenge, and I appreciate the innovation in that sense. I never played Mirror's Edge. A lot of you guys have said it's just like Mirror's Edge, so I might actually have to check that out, but I welcome this. Basically what they've done here is the game Titanfall feels familiar enough that you're comfortable with it, but they've innovated just enough that it's kind of new and fresh, and that's a really tough thing to do. And I really applaud them for that. I've enjoyed that. It's a shooter. Like I said, it reminds me of Call of Duty, but it's yet not Call of Duty, and it's not Battlefield. It's something quite its own, and that's really pretty cool. Gunplay, like I mentioned, is very simplified. Obviously, lasers, low recoil, everybody said this, but what you have to factor in here is the targets you're shooting at oftentimes are harder to hit. On Battlefield and Call of Duty, guys are running. Guys are moving across your screen on one, you know, vertical axis, if you will, whereas in this game that's not the case. It kind of reminds me of like shooting an RPG at a helicopter. You're kind of got to really, lead your targets in a lot of different ways, because that guy can go in just about any different direction at any given time. So it's a little more challenge there as far as target acquisition and hitting your target. So they had to kind of, I feel, make the guns a little easier. Could you imagine this game with Battlefield Recoil, trying to hit these guys, bouncing off walls, jumping, double jumping, sprinting? It would be really, really tough. So, they've obviously gone for the more casual first-person shooter, but I think it's also found a good balance there, but it's harder to hit targets but easier to use guns. Again, I want to mention, hit registration was fantastic. Kind of expected that with the Source engine, an engine that's been used and just tested and kind of, it's very efficient. I can't think of the word I'm looking for there. I didn't trade kills a single time. A lot of matches, a lot of gunfights. Didn't trade kills with anybody. That was strange. I didn't know what to do there. And again, movement was great. Didn't get snagged on a single thing. I was able to jump, run around, and I'm a noob. I wasn't very good at it. I still, kind of bash my head into the side of buildings quite often. Had a lot of fun with that. So let's flip the coin. Let's talk about some bad and some concerns. Now, a lot of this stuff could be wiped away with the fact that it was a limited beta, and so that's why I'm stressing that this is a beta impressions. We could look a week after release, and this video could be like just silly because everything on release was realized. I hope that's the case, but if it's not, well, then we've got some issues, and I want to make sure they're out there. First, at about the 3 or 4 minute mark of matches, this is, again, attrition, I guess, and hardpoint are the two main modes I played. Attrition, certainly. Hardpoint was a little bit different because you had the objectives. At the 3 or 4 minute mark, if you're not in a Titan, it's a ghost town. And that's kind of disappointing because that breakout, that first 3 or 4 minutes of a match is a lot of fun and is action all over, everywhere, and it's good to be had. But then once everybody starts getting their Titans, it gets really slow and really quiet if you're just staying on foot. And now I want to mention, I tried to stay on foot. I'm not very good in a Titan. Truthful, I didn't really enjoy it. Actually, I shouldn't say I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it as much as being a pilot. Gunplay. No surprise to anybody that knows me. I'm an infantry guy. I like that. I enjoyed the Titans, but I felt like you went from a pilot who could jump in any different direction and climb anything, run anywhere he wants. And then you get this Titan who's basically glued to the ground. You got a little boost, and it just feels like you're closed off. You don't have the full range of view and things. I didn't enjoy it as much as piloting, so I tried to stay there. I would call on my Titan, let it go in follow mode, that sort of thing. But if you didn't get in your Titan at times, you weren't part of the action. I played a couple rounds with Iceman Oz. He liked this Titan. He was in there a lot. In essence, what I was doing is I was offering support for him, trying to shoot the guys off his back. That kind of worries me a little bit. You're forced to get in your Titan at certain points of the game. That could just be me being a new player. It could be everybody being new players. It could be the game modes. I'm not really sure. Let's talk about the AI. I don't really understand why they need to be there. Certain games, attrition and whatever, that's fine. But, yeah, sure, I had those Matrix slow motion, really cool. I'm a beast mode, killing 3 guys, 4 grunts, whatever. And it made you feel good at first, but it got old kind of quick. And it would be like, I had a difficult time target prioritizing. Like, I'd get in a room, there's always like 3 grunts together, and then a pilot would run in, and obviously you want to go for the pilot first, and that is probably for me not playing enough. But I think there should be more visual clues, and maybe that will come as I play more. Correct me if I'm wrong. I found it a little frustrating. Obviously, if the guy's running around being crazy, you could pick him out of a crowd, but I just don't see the point of the AI. It seems like they're there to farm up and make bad players feel good, which, alright, I'm okay with. But again, this isn't Little League. I don't really feel like that's necessary. Everybody doesn't have to get a trophy. And they feel like they're there to kind of fill in the dead spots, whereas I felt having a higher player limit would eliminate those dead spots. I really would have liked to have seen this at least 8v8, 10v10. It's a big disappointment to me. I did find some dead spots. I'm not hating on it. It's okay, and I'm going to have to wait and see how the maps are designed overall. Might be just fine, but I just don't see the need for the AI. It's puzzling to me a little bit. Not a deal breaker or anything, but just kind of concerning. The game overall for me did get repetitive pretty quickly. Now that could be, again, an effective beta. 2 maps, basically, 3 maps, 2 game modes, whatever it was. It lacks the depth to me. I used to make the same breakout routes every match and things, and I would always run into an enemy almost at the same spots, and this isn't a beta I played 5 or 6 hours of. That's not a good sign. Now, we do hear that we're going to get a lot more maps, like 13 or 14, I think, are rumored. We don't know anything official, so that would be a good number of maps. That would help, but I need to see more. I'm already worried that this game is not going to have a very long lifespan. Lobby system to me feels a little bit outdated. That's probably just for me playing Battlefield through Battlelog. I actually have never really had an issue with Battlelog. I like the fact I'm a multitasking fiend. I'm all over the place, little, you know, computer ADD, if you will. So getting back into that lobby system, I felt really kind of claustrophobic and restricted and things. So, and on top of that, the UI in those systems were not very intuitive. It was kind of, you know, how to get in and change kits and stuff. They can improve this, but I think for a game that's been developed this long, it should have been much more polished. Clearly, that is for the console side of things. Too much downtime on that note between matches. What is it, 90 seconds or something? Come on, guys. These matches are very quick. They're small lobbies. There's no reason we need that much downtime in between a match. So let's turn that down. Hopefully, I mean, I hope at some point we'll get private servers and the mins can change all these things. I don't know. I haven't really done research up on that. I think they did just... they said no private servers, but then I think they did say private matches, so I don't know exactly what the difference is there. Overall, is it too easy? It wasn't for me. Obviously, I'm going to stress a noob, but I've heard of other people going 60, 70 win streaks. I mean, it's crazy. Seems to be, you know, they went for a low barrier of entry, but there is quite a skill gap there. And it's kind of going to be a thing of haves versus have-nots, especially with the burn cards and things. I do worry that it's just going to be, you know, pub stomping. You get a group of 4 or 5 guys, you know, grouped together, lobby system, go. And they're just not going to lose. And even though they're going to laugh and they're going to brag, I don't know how much fun they're going to have when you win that many straight matches. I don't know. Time will tell on that. It is a concern of mine. One thing to note, lack of destruction. It felt really weird to me that, you know, I could be in a building holding a window, camping in essence, and there's really not much anybody could do, you know, against me as long as I was watching my 6. I really miss that, and it's something I've grown appreciative of in Battlefield, is that everything is kind of dynamic. You don't sit still too long because that building will come down on you. I understand limitations of engine and things, and some of the pros I talked about, really good reg, fast movement, smooth screen, you know, movement and things, that comes from that engine, and that would be traded off if you're going to do damage. I get that. I'm not oblivious to that. So, but it's kind of a little disappointing, if you will. So, basically, my biggest message about Titanfall is it's going to have to innovate through content. Where's the content at? How aggressive they're going to be? They've got a cool little core here. The movement, the gunplay, the Titans. I like that. I'm enjoying it. I would like to play more of it. But you have to innovate through game modes. That's the big thing. I want to see some good game modes. You can't just give me, you don't just rehash the classics. Don't just bring the classics back and rename them. It's going to get very bored very quickly, and people are going to move on. Innovate. You've innovated just enough in the core game. Like I said, it's familiar, that it's comfortable, but yet it's innovative and it's fresh. Do the same thing with game modes. Give me some strategic game modes. Give me some tactical game modes. Give me a reason people want to play as a team. I haven't seen a reason yet in the game why you want to play as a team. It seems like 6 individuals playing their own game. I want to see reasons to play as a team other than just pub stomping. You know, I got a little of that with the Titans where you'd be kind of back-to-back watching. That's the start of it. I want to see more of that. I'd like to see game modes where Titan times are much longer. They'll give it 8 minutes, 9 minutes, but yet let it be, you know, the objective points much more aggressive to shortening that time. This way, the people that are playing, they're capping objectives, things like that, are going to get their Titans faster. Guys playing slower, more campy, whatever, are going to have to wait the full 7 or 8 minutes for the Titan. It would also spread out the Titan use, so not everybody on each team is in a Titan at the same time, and it's bottleneck, rush hour, choking down the streets. That was kind of frustrating. How aggressive will the DLCs be? I've heard 45 days after launch is the first one. I've heard 125 days after the launch is the second one. Nothing's confirmed at this point. We have very little official information, which is kind of annoying. I think we should have some more information now. We don't even know officially how many maps there are, how many game modes. I think we know that there's 3 Titans. Correct me if I'm wrong. Come on, guys. Let's go. Info dump. You're taking pre-orders. It's time to tell the people what they're getting for their money. I mean, 3 weeks away. I think that's fair. It's going to be all about the content. How deep will it go? All right, how many maps, how well done those maps are, how quickly are you going to bring me new guns, maps, game modes, things like that. They're going to have to be aggressive here. I really feel like they are. The old days of pushing a game out and then leaving it and working on Titanfall 2, that's not going to fly here. This game doesn't have enough depth, as I experienced it in beta, to carry a year. They're going to have to be aggressive. They're going to have to bring out new maps, new guns, all kinds of new things like that. And if they do that, this game could be a lot of fun. For me, I'm not going to be pre-ordering this. There's absolutely no reason to pre-order this, guys. There's no benefits. There's no free DLC included, nothing like that, which I applaud them for. You know, I think including a DLC in your pre-order is kind of classless, honestly. It's like, put that content in the game. I'm not bashing them for not doing that. I'm just saying, you as a consumer, me as a customer, there's no reason to pre-order this game. I won't be buying it day 1 of launch. I'm going to monitor it. Don't worry. I understand EA does not own Respawn, but EA is involved enough that I'm worried. This beta was not run very well. This beta there was mixed messages everywhere. It didn't seem like anybody knew what was going on, whether it was going to go open, not go open. One minute they're saying the PC entrants are done. If you haven't registered before this date, you can't get in. The very next day they're going, hey, here's an open PC beta. It's crazy. Like, there should be a singular message. There's like 4 official Twitter accounts. The organization is not very good, and that is kind of indicative of maybe some problems. So at the same time, the game is very smooth. I don't see a lot of issues with the game itself just yet, so I have hopes that the launch will be good. I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to hope I might be able to snipe a better deal, and I'm going to watch, see how many of my friends play it, my friends stick with it. And you know what? If I sit down on a Thursday night and a bunch of my buddies are playing Titanfall, they're, hey, jump on? Yeah. Then I'll pull out the credit card and I'll buy it, and I'll go. You know, say Battlefield 4 All-Stars, we want to do a Titanfall session. Okay, I'll do it. But I'm not jumping on the bandwagon just yet. I'm going to wait and see what happens. I'm not closing my eyes to it either. I'm probably going to buy it at some point. It's just going to be a matter of, can I get a better deal, or am I going to feel like I'm missing out on something? Everybody's playing it. Everybody's having a good time. I'm hearing rave reviews, as we did at the start of the beta. I'll be more likely to pick it up and buy it. But I'm going to take that whole wait-and-see attitude, which I think is probably wise in this day and age in a lot of these AAA shooters, if you will. So I'd like to hear what you guys thought in the comments. Everybody's got these little review videos out. I wanted to take my time and try to get as much time in as I could and think about it and consider things. And I was hoping more information was going to come out, honestly, before I did this video. But mum is the word. There's still no real official release of information as I was hoping. So I'm going to take that wait-and-see attitude, as I mentioned, and hopefully read and see what their plans are for this game. And I'm going to decide what my plan is for this game. So like always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you appreciated it. It's a little late, but I wanted to be a little more thorough, talk for a little while in some more depth for you, and I hope you appreciate that. I will talk to you soon, guys. Take care.